Okay, so in this video we're going to be looking at how to find the surface area and volume of prisms. Surface area is the total area around the outside of a 3D solid. Volume is the amount of space inside a 3D solid. And volume is always measured in cubic units. Area in square units. So here in question A, we have a cube. What's special about a cube is that every face has the same area. So when working out the surface area of a cube, we just need to multiply 6 by the area of one side. The area is a square, or the face is a square. So we have 6 times s squared, or 6 times 1.2 squared, which is equal to 8.64 centimeters squared. Okay, so the volume of a cube is AH, the area of the base times the height. The base is a square, so we have s squared times the height. In this case, s squared is 1.2 squared, and the height is 1.2. So the volume of the cube is 1.2 cubed, 1.728. 1.728 centimeters cubed. Question B. Here we have a triangular prism. So it's important that you remember that this is a triangular prism. This will help when working out the volume. So let's just have a look at the surface area first. We have two triangles that are the same. So we're going to work out the area of, let's do that in green, 2 times the area of a triangle, because they're the same size. We can just multiply it by 2, plus the area of a rectangle. There are 3 rectangles, but they're all different in size. That's why I'm running it 3 times rather than 3 times the area of a rectangle, because they're all different in size. So we know the formula for the area of a triangle is half base times height. The area of our rectangle is length times width, length times width, and length times width. Now we can substitute all the values into the formulas and work out our answer. 2 times half times the base of the triangle is 4. The height of the triangle is 3. I'm going to work from largest rectangle to smallest. So the largest rectangle here is 7 times 5. The next largest is 7 times 4. And the smallest is 7 times 3. We can put that in our calculator and see what answer we get. 2 times half times 4 times 3 plus 7 times 5 plus 7 times 4 plus 7 times 3 is equal to 96 millimeters squared. And I made an error here. That should be a plus. Okay, volume is equal to the area of the base times the height. Now, if you look at this, it looks like the base is a rectangle. But because the solid is a triangular prism, the base is a triangle. So we need to look for two faces that are exactly the same size and shape, which is the triangle here. So that makes the triangle the base. So we're going to work out the area of the base, which is the triangle, half base times height. And then we're going to multiply it by the height of the solid. Okay, so that's the height of the solid. Half times the base of the triangle is 4, the height of the triangle is 3, and the height of the solid is 7. Okay, the height of the solid is 7. So that gives us half times 4 times 3 times 7, 42 millimeters cubed. Question C. Again, we have another triangular prism. So I'm going to write that in. Triangular prism. And if you notice, the triangle is actually an equilateral triangle, which means all three rectangles are equal in size. So let's look at the surface area. The surface area is equal to 2 times the area of the triangle, of one triangle, because they're both the same size, plus 3 times the area of a rectangle, because they are all the same size. So that gives us 2 times half times base times height, plus 3 times length times width. That gives us 2 times half times the base of the rectangle is 10. The height is 8.66. The length of the rectangle is 25. And the width is 10. That gives us an answer of 836.6 meters squared. Okay, because we're talking about surface area. The volume of the solid is AH, the area of the base times the perpendicular height. The base is a triangle because it's a triangular prism. So the base is a triangle. So the formula for the area of a triangle is half base times height. We're going to multiply that by the perpendicular height of the solid. That gives us half times 10 times 8.66 times 25. 25 is the perpendicular height. So let's put that in our calculators. Half times 10 times 8.66 times 25 is 1082.5 meters cubed. Okay, last example. Here we have a trapezoidal prism. So the surface area is going to be equal to 2 times the area of a trapezium. Okay, because there are 2 of them and they're both the same size, plus the area of a rectangle, another rectangle, another rectangle, and one last rectangle. So the formula for the area of a trapezium is half the height times a plus b, where a and b are the 2 parallel sides, plus the length times width, plus the length times width, plus the length times width, plus the length times width of the 4 rectangles. I wrote them 4 times because they're all different in size. That gives us 2 times half times 1.9. That's the height of the trapezium. The 2 parallel sides are 1.4 and 2.3. The largest rectangle is 4.8 times 2.3. The next largest is 4.8 times 2.1. The next is 4.8 times 1.9. And the smallest is 4.8 times 1.4. Let's put that in a calculator. 2 times half times 1.9 times 1.4 plus 2.3 in brackets plus 4.8 times 2.3 plus 4.8 times 2.1 plus 4.8 times 1.9 plus 4.8 times 1.4. 43.99. Square meters. The volume is equal to area of the base times the height. Because it's a trapezoidal prism, the base is a trapezium. The formula for the area of trapezium is half height times a plus b. I'm going to times that by the perpendicular height of the solid. That gives us half times 1.9. In brackets we have 1.4 plus 2.3. They are the 2 parallel sides. And the perpendicular height of the prism is 4.8. Let's put that in the calculator. 1.9 times 1.4 plus 2.3 times 4.8. 16.872 meters cubed. And that's it for this video.